She was banished from the village, but the spirits had other plans. African folktales. A small village named Tando lay in the heart of a dense African forest, surrounded by towering baobabs and the rhythmic chatter of unseen creatures. The villagers of Tando lived harmoniously, respecting the land and the spirits they believed governed it. However, their harmony came with strict traditions, and those who defied them faced grave consequences. Among the villagers was a young woman named Ayana, with her ebony skin shimmering like polished onyx, and her eyes reflecting the starlit skies. She was considered one of the most beautiful women in Tando. But Ayana's beauty was overshadowed by her inquisitive nature, a trait that often led her to challenge the village's deeply rooted beliefs. She questioned why women could not enter the sacred grove, why children were forbidden to play near the waterfall, which was said to be home to the water spirits, and why certain songs could only be sung by the elders. Her questions were met with frowns and warnings, but Ayana's curiosity burned like a flame, unquenchable and fierce. One fateful day, Ayana's defiance reached its peak. During the annual festival of renewal, when the villagers offered sacrifices to the spirits of the land, Ayana stood before the council of elders. "Why must we offer our finest crops and animals to spirits we've never seen?" she asked. Her voice carried over the gathering, silencing the drumbeats and murmurs. If the spirits truly govern the land, wouldn't they prefer us to share these gifts with the hungry and the sick? Gasps rippled through the crowd. Challenging the spirits was unheard of, blasphemous even. The chief elder, a man named Kofi, rose slowly, his face a mask of anger and disbelief. "Ayana," he said, his voice trembling with restrained fury. "Your words have brought shame upon this village. By questioning the spirits, you have invited their wrath. For the safety of Tando, you must leave. You are banished." Ayana's mother wept, her cries echoing in the somber silence. Her friends pleaded for mercy, but the decision was final. Before the sun set, Ayana was escorted to the edge of the forest. The villagers turned their backs as she stepped into the shadows, their silence a heavy weight on her heart. The forest was alive with whispers and the rustle of leaves. Ayana walked aimlessly, her feet sinking into the mossy ground. As night fell, the air grew colder and unfamiliar sounds surrounded her. She found a clearing and lit a small fire, her only companion against the encroaching darkness. As she sat, tears streaming down her face, a voice emerged from the darkness. "Why do you weep, child?" Startled, Ayana looked around but saw no one. The voice was soothing, melodic, and seemed to come from everywhere at once. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice trembling. From the shadows stepped a figure unlike any she had ever seen. It was a woman, but not entirely. Her skin shimmered like water under moonlight. Her hair flowed like vines, and her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. "I am Nyoka," she said, spirit of the forest. Ayana gasped, instinctively bowing her head. Nyoka chuckled softly. "Do not fear me, Ayana. I have watched you for many years. Your questions, your courage, your heart, they have reached the spirits. We have other plans for you." Ayana's heart raced. "Plans?" she whispered. Nyoka nodded. "The villagers of Tando are bound by fear and tradition. They have forgotten the true purpose of their connection to us. We need you to remind them. But first, you must understand the spirits." Over the following days, Ayana journeyed deeper into the forest, guided by Nyoka. She encountered other spirits, each embodying a force of nature. There was Kuro, the fire spirit, who taught her the balance between destruction and renewal. She met Zazie, the wind spirit, who showed her how to listen to the whispers of the unseen. And finally, she encountered Lumo, the earth spirit, who revealed the interconnectedness of all living things. Each spirit set her a trial. Kuro challenged her to walk through a ring of fire, teaching her to face her fears. Zazie carried her to the highest treetops, where she learned to trust and let go of control. Lumo buried her waist deep in the soil, where she felt the heartbeat of the earth and the life pulsing beneath the surface. But the trials were not without peril. Kuro's flames scorched her feet, leaving marks that glowed faintly in the dark. The winds of Zazie nearly flung her into the abyss, and the embrace of Lumo's soil pressed on her chest, as though testing her resolve. Ayana's determination carried her through each trial. She emerged not just stronger, but also with a newfound sense of purpose and humility. One night, while resting by a stream, she noticed her reflection had changed. Her eyes glowed faintly, and symbols traced across her skin like ancient runes, evidence of her bond with the spirits. She whispered a quiet thank you to Nyoka and the others who had guided her. As Ayana continued her journey through the forest, she began to notice its rhythms more clearly. The spirits communicated with her through signs: a bird's call, the rustle of leaves, the ripple of water. She learned the ancient language of the land, a silent yet profound connection to everything around her. Nyoka appeared to her again one evening. "You have learned much, Ayana, but one task remains. You must teach the villagers that fear cannot sustain harmony. Only respect and understanding can." Ayana frowned. "But they will not listen to me. They see me as an exile, a blasphemer." Nyoka smiled. "They will listen when they see the truth. You are the bridge, Ayana. Trust in yourself and in us." One moonlit night, Nyoka appeared before Ayana again. "It is time," she said. "Return to Tando and fulfill your purpose." Ayana hesitated. "They cast me out. How can I return?" Nyoka's gaze was steady. "You are not returning as the Ayana they knew. You are returning as the voice of the spirits." With newfound confidence, Ayana made her way back to Tando. As she emerged from the forest, the villagers gathered, their faces a mixture of shock and fear. Her appearance had changed, her eyes glowed faintly, and her presence radiated power and calm. The chief elder stepped forward, his staff trembling in his hand. "Why have you returned?" he demanded. Ayana raised her hand, and the wind swirled around her, carrying her voice to every corner of the village. "I return, not as an exile, but as a messenger of the spirits. They have spoken, and they are displeased." Gasps filled the air. Ayana recounted her journey, the trials she had endured, and the truths she had learned. "The spirits do not demand blind offerings," she said. "They demand respect for the land, kindness to one another, and balance in all things. Your fear has blinded you to their true will." The villagers listened, captivated by her words. Even the elders, who had once dismissed her, could not deny the power in her voice. As she spoke, the winds danced, the earth trembled, and the flames of their torches burned brighter signs that the spirits were with her. Under Ayana's guidance, Tando underwent a transformation. The sacred grove became a place of learning, where villagers gathered to understand the forest's secrets. The waterfall, once forbidden, became a source of healing and reflection. The Festival of Renewal evolved into a celebration of unity, where offerings were shared among the community and with the spirits in equal measure. Ayana's courage and connection to the spirits brought prosperity and harmony to Tando. She became a revered figure, not because of her power, but because of her wisdom and humility. And as the years passed, the story of Ayana, the girl who was banished but embraced by the spirits, became a cherished folktale, passed down to remind future generations of the power of questioning, learning, and connecting with the unseen forces that guide us all. The children of Tando would sit by the fire and hear of Ayana's trials, her bravery, and her unyielding spirit. Elders would point to the sacred grove, now thriving with life and laughter, as proof of her legacy. And so, The spirits' plans for Ayana unfolded, not through destruction or revenge, but through understanding and renewal, a lesson for Tando and all who heard her tale. But Ayana's journey did not end there. With each passing season, she delved deeper into the bond she shared with the spirits. She traveled to neighboring villages, spreading the wisdom she had gained and encouraging others to rethink their relationships with the unseen world around them. Some welcomed her teachings, others met her with skepticism and resistance. Yet Ayana remained undeterred, understanding that change often began with a single seed planted in the soil of doubt. One day, a drought plagued the land, threatening the lives of many. Ayana, sensing the despair of the villages, sought the guidance of Nyoka and the spirits. They instructed her to lead the people to an ancient spring hidden deep within the forest, a place known only to the spirits themselves. The journey was arduous, filled with trials that tested their unity and resolve. Along the way, Ayana's leadership and her unwavering faith in the spirits inspired hope among the people. When they finally reached the spring, its waters flowed crystal clear, replenishing their strength and nourishing the parched earth. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this tale, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.